going to do a tape, obviously we're going to do a tape on slot machines. This is the toughest audience that I have to talk to. We've done 22 tapes on every type of gambling. Craps, blackjack, baccarat, roulette. You can talk on and on and on because there are set patterns of play. And now we talk to the slot player. I wrote a book on slot machines. There's 41 systems in there. Obviously, I'm not going to give you 41 systems in the slot machine tape. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you about 7 systems, and then you can take your spin-offs. But you know what I thought was a good idea? I don't believe in prompters. I don't have any written material because I want to talk right from the shoulder as to what your chances of winning or losing is. That's all you really care about. So you know what I did is I went to the contents part of the book, and I took the different chapters, and I'll pose it as a question to give you quick answers. There are 464 pages in there, so obviously the tape can't be as long as the book is. So what I'm going to do is cut short the answers on some of the obvious questions. Now this is an introduction to slot machines. We're standing down here in a section we're at a dollar machine. You can see this right here. And I want to give you an idea of how you start your day. Should I play the slots? You want to play the slot machines? I have never, in all the time I've been teaching gambling, told you not to play the slots. There are other games to play. There are table games, craps, blackjack, baccarat, roulette. But if you want to play slots and you don't know the other games, then there's a way to play them based on money management and discipline. Should you play the slots? If you want to, you've got to play them correctly. Reality, the reality of slot machines. Just like in any form of gambling. The reason you people lose is because you don't realize the reality of gambling. What's the reality? Your chances of winning and losing. There's no secret formula. There's no special way to pull the handle. You could stand on your head on a Tuesday if you're wearing pink shorts, and you can pull the handle with your left leg, and then you've got a chance of winning, but only if it's raining out. Now that's the best I can give you. Other than that, it comes down to money management and discipline. The reality of slot machines is that they run in streaks and trends. I'm going to show you how to find a trend, how to take advantage of trends, and how to leave a table when a trend is not happening. The reality of slot machines, you're not going to win the jackpot all the time. Somebody's going to win it. I want you to accept small percentage returns. There's a chapter called Addiction and Obsession. You're obsessed with slot machines. What I want you to do is be obsessed with winning. If you get ahead a certain percentage, suppose you take $100 to the slot machines. Suppose you win $20, 20% return. You don't get that in the bank. What do they give you, 2%? 2.3%? If you leave it there all year, now you go down to the casino, you win 20% in one day. Huh, you don't want that. You want thousands. That's addiction and obsession. You're obsessed with this idea of winning thousands of dollars. You're starting with hundreds, you're not going to win thousands. Can I win at the slots? Yeah. Follow what I'm going to show you. First of all, I'm going to cut your losses. Then you're going to look for a streak. And you're going to quit when you win a certain percentage. You can win at the slots. Do you want to win? I don't know if you want to win or if you want to play. 2 types of people go into a casino. Those that want to win, the professional gambler, and those that want to play, just want to kill a day. When are you going to reach the point in your life where you're going to realize that winning small consistently beats losing most of the time? I'm going to give you 2 words to remember. Naked pulls. Each one of you right now, I want you to think of a number. Think of a number between 7 and 14. Let's suppose you said 9. 9 is your naked pulls. Remember that. I'm going to refer to that over and over and over. Do you know what a naked pull is? Suppose you went up to this machine and you set 9 as your naked pulls. If you pull that handle 9 consecutive times and you have no return, that's your naked pulls. You've got to leave that machine. I don't care if you're playing 1 coin, 2 coins, 3 coins. Naked pulls are set before you go up to a machine. The amount that you set, you must leave. If you set 10, you got to leave when 10 comes. No longer than 15. That machine is ice cold. But give it at least 7 spins because you want to get into some type of a pattern. So I would like to see it set somewhere between 8, 9, or 10. Naked pulls. The big 4 in gambling. I talk about this in all the tapes we do. There's 4 things you need when you gamble. Bankroll, the amount of money you take to the casino. Knowledge. Knowledge is how do you play the game. Well, in slot machines, there's no knowledge. You don't have to worry about knowledge. You don't need the big 4. Money management. That's the 3rd part of the big 4. That's what do you bet when you win, what do you bet when you lose. I'm going to give you systems that tell you what to bet when you win and what to bet when you lose. Will you follow them? You won't follow them. It's too conservative. And discipline. You got to quit when you win a certain amount. You got to quit when you lose a certain amount. That's discipline. bankroll, knowledge, money management, and discipline. That's the big four. You need all four. There's a thing called a little three. Theory, logic, and trends. Theory. I'm going to give you my opinion as to how you play the slots. Logic. Anything to do with gambling has a logical explanation. Starting with $100 and winning $20 is logical. $30, that's logical. Trying to double your money, it's illogical because you only got a 50-50 chance of winning. And trends. When you catch a hot machine, I don't care if you stay there for 4 days. I don't care if you leave, miss 8 meals. I'll wet my pants at a machine before I'm going to leave. I will not leave a machine where I'm winning. But if you're losing, then you leave. That's a little three. Theory, logic, and trends. You know, in a different part of this tape, you're going to see an interview that I did with a fellow by the name of Jim Hildebrand. He's an expert in slot machines. And he talked about something called the RNGs. RNGs are random number generator. As we speak right now, there's a computer in there that's kicking off millions of signals. And those signals key where these symbols are going to stop. And all this nonsense you're going to hear us talking later on, that if you leave a machine and somebody walks up and plays at that machine, has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing, because these RNGs, the random number generator, you wouldn't have got that same number anyway, even if you stayed there. We're going to start with systems in a second, but just think of 1 minute about what I just told you. Think about it, okay? You know what I want you to do? I know you people don't do it. You don't pay attention. I want you to read. Read the top of the machine when you walk up to it. Let's just take these two machines here. This is a 3-coin machine. Obviously, if you want to get to the third line, you've got to put 3 coins in. Now watch the machine up here. If you put in 3 coins, if 3 red 7s come, you're going to get paid $1,000, no matter where you've got your line in, if you've got the 3 coins in. If you put in 1 coin and you get 3 7s, you're not going to get paid. You're not going to get paid. So you've got to have the 3 coins in. There are so many of you don't take the time to read this, and they walk up there and they've got 1 coin in and 3 7s come on the third line. You don't get paid. And you wonder, why didn't I get paid? Because you've got to have the 3 coins in. First coin, pay line, you get 3 7s, you get $2,400. Second coin, you get $4,800 for 3 7s. Now you should be paid $7,200 if you have 3 coins in. You don't. There's a bonus here. 10,000 coins is paid when you get 3 7s on the third line. So obviously, it's to your benefit to have 3 coins in. Now, if you don't have the bankroll to put in 3 coins, obviously you can't do it. And we'll touch on that later if we get into bankroll. But you've got to read this to see. For you to get to $10,000, it's going to come on the third line. Let's go over this machine here. The amount of the payoffs is always in equals. Watch this here. 1 coin, $80. 80 coins. 2 coins, 160. 3 coins, 240. Do you notice in multiples of the first amount? 10, 20, 30. It's multiples of 10. 2, 4, 6. It's multiples of 2. However, on this one here, they give you a little bit of a bonus by having a third coin in. 800, 1,600 isn't 2,400, it's 2,500. But watch this. You will probably get more smaller returns on this machine here, but the bonus is going to come on this one here. Later on, when we talk to Jim Hildebrand, who explains all of this in detail, you'll find out that you'd rather go to the machine, in my opinion, that's kicking off more consistent returns in the middle payoffs than going for the big payoff here. That's my theory. That's the way I would play. But you've got to read these markers. You've got to read them. These markers are up here for a reason, to explain to you exactly what's going on in each machine. Don't worry, I'll go over whether you should play a quarter machine, dollar machine as we go along. Let me take another chapter. Sessions. Let's suppose you take $100 to the casino, $100 to the slot section. That's your bankroll. I want you to break that bankroll down into equal sessions. A session is a machine. In this case here, you can go to 5 machines with $20, or 2 machines with $50, or 10 machines at $10. You notice you broke it down into equal sessions. When you walk up to a machine, you're taking out $10 because you've decided to play $10 at every machine. That machine, while you're there, has your naked pulls. We'll say 9 is your naked pulls. You're going to set 2 things when you walk up to that machine, a win goal and a loss limit. Remember the number 60. If you lose 9 in a row, that's your loss limit on naked pulls. You got to leave the machine, if that's your number that you set. If you lose 60% of the $10 you started with, you have to leave that machine. Did you understand what I said? Whatever you take to that machine, you can't lose more than $60. So suppose you took 10 separate sessions at $10 a piece to 10 different machines. On the first machine, you lost $6, which is 60%. You put the balance of that $10 in your pocket, which is $4, and you don't touch it again that day. So you go to the next machine and you take out another $10, 60%, $6. If you lose, go to the third machine and so on. Let's suppose you win $6 at any one of these machines. That's your win goal. You've won $6. At this machine, you started with 10, you won 6. This is what I want you to do with that win goal. Take the $10 you started with and put it aside. Take the $6 you're ahead and break it in half. 1/2 of 6 is 3. You put $3 aside, it's called your guarantee. And you play with the other $3. Let's suppose you win 40 coins, 20 and 20. Suppose you win 25 coins, 13 and 12. You keep breaking in half every subsequent win, every subsequent pull. Even if you were on this machine and you reach your win goal of 60%, you put $3 aside, which is your guarantee, and you're playing with the other $3, which is your excess. Suppose you play in 2 coins and you win 4 coins, $2 and $2. Guarantee and excess. When the excess is gone, you're going to leave that machine. You've got your starting session amount and you've got your guarantee, which is broken in half when you reach that win goal. That's important. Remember that. You'll forget it. Finding a trend. We talked about that briefly in the introduction. When I find a machine that's hot, I won't leave that machine for anything. And the way you find it is by playing it. If you are losing at a machine and I tell you to leave, set the lost limits and the naked pulls. If you're winning at a machine, you don't leave a machine on a winning note. The last play at a machine cannot be a winning spin. You know, there's a friend of mine out in Las Vegas. His name is Howie Goldstein. We go into the casinos out in Vegas. You know what Howie will do? He will walk up to a machine and only play a machine whereby the previous payoff was a win. The previous decision was a win. Now suppose he walked up to this machine and he sees that there's no payoff here. The person who left that machine left on a losing note. Suppose in this machine here, he saw that there was a payoff on the second line and a payoff on the third line. That means that the person who was playing at that machine left a machine that was winning. You don't want to you don't want to leave a machine. So Howie is going to play that machine. He will continue to play it as long as he keeps winning. If he loses, he goes to the next machine. You should see how many times he wins just by putting a coin in a machine whereby the previous player left with a winning amount on the board. Think about it. Short bankroll. I know most of you people have a short bankroll, small amount of money. You got $50. I know your economic situation calls for you to come to the casino because you love it so much, but your bankroll is only $25. You can break that bankroll down into 5 sessions of $5 a piece. If you play short, you'll play scared. If you play scared, you'll play dumb. If you play dumb, you'll lose. I'd like to have you have more money, but it's not my job to tell you how much you should bring. You'd like to bring $1,000. You don't have it. Then play within the confines of what you do bring. The proper session amount. I like you to have, at a quarter machine, $10 per machine. I'd like you to have $10. You know, you got to give a machine a chance to run into a pattern. You got to give it a chance to get into a flow. I'm going to show you a system called the straight 60 system. But there are people that run up to a machine, put in 2 coins and lose. They kick the machine, then they go up to the next machine, they lose 3 coins. Oh, the casino has fixed the machines, and it's a chip joint. You didn't give it a chance to fall into a pattern. Don't be a sore loser. It doesn't work. Stop your crying. You know, we're going to do a segment now. I think you're going to like this. You know, you hear me talk about theory, logic, and trends. Theory is an opinion. You got to be sick of hearing my theory. So, a friend of mine, Jim Hillebrand, Jimmy writes for our newsletter. A lot of you people get it. He writes for the Casino Player magazine. You've written your own book too, Jim, on slot machines. Yes. And you've got a lot of theories on how to play the slots, different theories. Right. And you know, I think people might like to hear a different opinion, an opinion from somebody else other than myself. I'm very conservative. And I was looking over some of Jim's writings and some of the articles that he's written, and he's got some really strong theories. So rather than just zeroing in on mine and saying this is the way to do it, I thought you might like to hear a different version. And in fact, you must know that I've got a piece of paper in front of you, but not a sheet, but I don't want to miss any of the things that I thought was very interesting that human people might like to listen to. Hey Jim, you talk about scouting the slots. Give me an idea. How do you look at scouting the slots?
Well, I think the first thing, John, is that you have to recognize that there's a percent that we have to improve. That's the first thing. Slot machines at best are maybe 90–91%. So we try to do everything we possibly can to narrow that advantage.
So what are you looking for when you scout?
Well, when we're looking for on machines is the expected frequency of the machine. I think that's the key. When a casino manager sets up his machines, the first thing he does is vary his machines in his casino by the amount of expected frequency.
What's expected frequency? Explain to him.
Now, what that means is that that's the number of pulls in between a hit on an average. So you've got some very low frequency machines such as a 10 grand or maybe some of the red, white, and blues. You could go 10, 15 pulls in between hits.
How many pulls would you stay for? I call them naked pulls. How many pulls would you stay for?
Well, what you use is the different machines. The medium machines, for example, maybe a double diamond, maybe is 10 or 15. You get into some of the real high frequency machines like a home run, that's only 2 or 3. They're set up with maybe to hit every third pull.
So the amount of the return isn't great.
Right, the amount of the return is small, but the frequency. So if you're playing that kind of machine, you want to identify what that frequency is. Therefore, if you say that's a 5 or 6 hit machine, you kind of set your naked pulls or your quit point at that. If it's over 6 or 7, you say, wait a minute, it's been a bad trend, you get out of it.
So in other words, then, with your theory, you set 6 or 7 as your max for naked pulls. I'm up around between 7 and 14.
Well, again, it depends on the machine. If it's a low frequency machine.
Well, how do these people know it's a low frequency machine?
Well, you kind of look at the pay table. That's the first key. If you look at a pay table here, this one is probably a medium one because there's a lot of medium hits in here. And you've got a low frequency of 15 and 30. Now, if you saw a pay table that had 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s, chances are that's going to be a much higher frequency. And a lot of it is just through your individual play.
Well, how do you chart it before you go up to the machine?
Before you go up to the machine. First of all, you know where you are in the first place. You look at your published numbers that tell you where the best place to play is. You pay a lot of attention to that because that can gain you an extra % or 2. Now, once you're in that door, you're still in a better place.
No, but use that word looser machine. So you're going to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that, once you're in there, then you want to try to find where the looser machines are. And there's a lot of ways to do that through your own play. And the thing that I do is count every single pull. So you count in between. You just kind of mentally do that, and you get to do that as a habit. You count 4, 5, 6, 8 hit, 7, 8, 9 hit. So you understand where that is. You play enough different machines, different types, then you walk up to a double diamond and you say, hey, that's about a 10 hit machine. You start playing it, you hit some 5s, and you say, hey, that's on a good trend. If it gets up 12 or 13, you say it's probably not in a good trend, you get out of it.
Okay, now give me a max that these people should stay at as your naked pull, that they must leave the machine if there's no hits coming.
Well, again, it's you got to look at what kind of machine. But I would say a max even on a low frequency machine is probably 15. 15? Yeah.
Hey, Jim, what do you play the bars, the fruit machines? Which in those two categories do you lean towards?
Well, I like the 7s machines a lot. The blazing 7s, the red, white, and blues, mag 7s, those kind of machines. I don't play the fruit machines. Don't play the progressives.
Don't play the fruit and don't play the progressive. Okay.
No.
How about the megabucks?
No.
Don't play megabucks.
No.
Hey Jim, what about the difference in playing 1, 3, 5 coins, max coins?
I play the max coins at every
Always
shot.
max coins.
Always. And the reason is because it's a fairly short-term leverage. I mean, if you're in a progressive machine like this one here, you're not really penalizing yourself at these lower sections.
Okay.
But if you were going to play this for hours and hours and hours, it's going to level out. It's going to be proportional. However, we're playing in a short term. And the leverage, if you're playing, I'm playing 3 coins and I play it 5 times, that's 15 coins. And I happen to hit 120, I've made 90 bucks.
I got you.
Whereas if I'm playing 5 coins at 1, I hit 40, I've made $35. So it's a short-term leverage. And for people say, gee, I can't afford it, then I say drop down in denomination. Don't
imagine
play
they're gonna
dollars,
play
drop down, play
to
quarters.
Play quarters.
But
That's
play,
tough to get people to realize that.
but play your maximum hits.
Okay, so just to give me an idea, I'm going into the casino. I'm looking for these certain machines with a short bankroll. You want to go to the quarter machines. You've got to go.
Yes.
You never play just one coin.
No.
Never played one coin.
No.
Hey Jim, you said down here expected hit frequency. If you're catching this machine, naturally you're going to stay there, and you say 15 is your max. I want you to listen to what he's talking about, which is a conglomeration of loss limits and your naked pulls.
Yes.
You know, you say your play and others play. You watch full trays. Quickly on that one. Give me something on that.
Well, you walk around them. First place you recognize that the good players know the good machines. Casino executives I've talked to tell me that a good player can pick up a % or 2 difference in about 5 minutes, and I believe it. So you watch the machines that are being played. You take a little notebook, you write down where the machines are, you copy down serial numbers, and then you go back. If you're someplace for 2 or 3 days, use a lot of that first day to chart the machines.
Yeah, you know what you did? What Jim did, he wrote down a couple of these things in here. The regular players know a % difference in machines. You note the machines played, and you record the machine serial numbers and go back there.
Because sometimes the casino will move the machine.
Oh yeah,
And
but I mean,
you'll have a like machine in the same place.
But the thing is, you go back again. You said that recognizing machine types, such as you covered in the beginning, and you said a machine set up by casino managers. What do you mean by that, Jim?
Well, the casino manager with the new computer table has the ability to move that whole array of frequency. Let's take a machine like this. He can either set in his computer table to have this machine hit a lot down here. He can have it hit a lot up in the middle section. Probably not going to obviously have a lot up here. But he can move that around.
But then how do you know that? How do you find?
Well, because you watch and you observe and you play and what you want to do is have that in your mind so that as you're playing that machine, you're saying, hey, this thing doesn't hit often. It's a low frequency machine, but by golly, it is hitting up in this area.
Okay.
And that tells you something.
And that's your maximum coin play.
A red, white, and blue, for example, is that kind of a machine. A lot of people play for that 240 coins. Well, you're not going to get a lot of frequency on that, but the computer table enables you to do that. It hasn't anything to do with the symbols that are on the reels.
But that forces you to read the table. It shows you
have to understand that table. You've got to understand that table. Along that line, John, one of the things that I see people making the biggest mistake on is not paying attention to third coin machines.
Yeah.
Particularly where there's a 7, and they'll sit there and they'll see 3 7s out there, and they've played 1 or 2 coins, and nothing happened, and they don't understand why.
They've got to read that.
There's not a trip to a casino that I don't caution somebody about doing that.
What Jimmy's talking about is that you've got to read up here where it says requires 3 coins. If you're not going to pay attention to that, you're going to lose a lot of money popping your coins, your single and double coins.
Right.
Hey Jim, there's a thing now called RNG, which is random number generator.
Right.
Now, I don't want to bore the people, but I want you to give them what is the random number generator?
Well, what that is a selection process. There's a computer table. It's on a chip, but it's a computer table that has maybe up to 1 million different combinations of all of these symbols. And again, the slot manager can determine how many of these he wants on that table, how many of this hit, how many of this, how many of these, and he can mix that up. Therefore, he can determine the frequency based on what he puts on that, and then the RNG actually makes that selection. When you drop your coin or hit the button or pull the handle, there's an instantaneous selection of that particular number that corresponds to a combination.
Are these numbers spitting out even while the machine isn't being played?
Yeah, that's running on a full-time basis, and it's a fraction of a second.
It's a fraction of a fraction of a second.
Tiny fraction.
You hear a question I just asked Jimmy, because I knew the answer was going to be, and I want him to go back again. Hey Jimmy, you hear so many people say, oh, geez, I just left that machine. I walked 3 feet. Tell them it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Absolutely doesn't matter.
Zero.
There's no way you could have duplicated that microsecond.
That's right.
You can't do it.
And people think with this new factor that the computer chip with the RNGs, they think that if they leave a machine and somebody walks up and catches it, that you would have won it. And they keep, you try to explain it. It's
absolutely doesn't. It's totally random.
So they can set the level by which they're going to have the multiple payouts, which is
Yes.
going to be high or in the lower
Right.
payoffs, but you just have to watch it, to
Yeah.
chart it, to see if it's going to come.
Now, mathematically, when you add all that up, it still comes out to the bottom line.
87%
He
return.
can say, I want an 87, or I want a 90, or a 92. So it all adds up to that number, but he can vary in the way that that number happens.
Jim, let me ask you this real quick, because you had a lot of great theories on here. Hey, Jim, do you believe that the dollar machines pay more than the quarter machines?
Yes, they do.
Why?
Yeah, the published statistics show that they do. And I think the reason is because there are actually more dollars generated to the house. So they can afford to have it pay a little bit better.
You know, but then the bad thing is, based on a theory that I talked to, if a person with a $25 bankroll goes down there and knows that the dollar machines will pay more, they still can't play them. They got to play within their bankroll.
Absolutely.
And yet the dollar machines probably will pay
a little better.
Pay more. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Real quickly, just give me a couple more machines for these people to look for.
Yeah, this is one of the more popular new machines. It has about a medium frequency. You have to certainly play the 3 lines. And what people play for is this any bars, which is a combination of 7s for 80. And the key to playing this machine is to hit that 80 and walk away from it. On the home run machine, this is another fairly high frequency machine. And the reason is because of this 3rd line. Now, this is one of those that you really have to play the 3rd coin. Otherwise, this 3rd reel doesn't come into play. But you'll see the joker come up here quite a bit all by itself without anything on the line. That's a fairly high frequency machine. I move over here to the double diamond, and we have a machine that tends to be more of a medium frequency. And you see up here there's only one small hit. Most of them are up in the 15 to 30. So you're going to hit more in this would be a medium frequency machine. You'd expect your frequency here to be up in the 8 to 10 on that particular machine. Okay. I like the blazing 7s. I like the magnificent 7s. Some of those machines, though, the real key is that you've got to leave it once you hit that jackpot.
You got to leave it.
You've got to leave it.
Okay.
And one of the methods I use is called the bully method,
Go ahead.
which basically says that I know this machine, I've got a general idea what it's going to hit. Let's take a 3-line red, white, and blue. Now, mixed 7s are 80, and a lot of people love to play for that. So you say, all right, I'm going after that 80. So I put my quit point aside, my naked pulls aside. I say, I'm going to just play that thing, and hopefully you get it within 20, 30, 40, 50. But see, you can play right up to that. But once you hit that 80, take it and run.
You got to leave.
Yeah,
You got to leave.
because the mistake that I think most of us make is that you keep playing.
Yeah.
And once in a while, you'll get in a trend. But the times that you'll hit that trend are so few that you're probably better off to take that hit, move on to the next machine, run it up, take it, and go.
And go hit and run.
Right, it's kind of a hit and run theory.
Jimmy, I thought you might like to hear some of these theories. Like I said, Jimmy writes for our newsletter. He also writes for the Casino Player. He's got a book coming out. A couple of months that book will be out. You don't know the title of it.
Not yet. We're
not
playing
yet.
with different titles, yes.
Okay, you'll see on the credits on the outside of the tape, his name is Jim Hildebrand. I want you to watch it, and we'll be announcing it when the book comes out, because I thought that you'd like to hear from Jimmy with his theories, and now we've touched on them, but when you start to read what he can do, it goes into greater depth. So, hey, Jim, I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, John. I appreciate the chance.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I want to get different theories on it.
Good.
Okay?
Thanks.
Hope you paid attention. I'm going to refer again to the talk I had with Jim Hildebrand, because a lot of it keys off on what we talked about. Jim says you should always play maximum coins. I would love to tell every person who walks to play maximum coins, but sometimes you can't because of the amount of money you bring to the casino. This machine here calls for you to play maximum coins. So you're supposed to play maximum coins. But I'd rather see you go to a machine where you can play two coins. Maybe you're at a 5-coin machine. If your bankroll calls for 1 or 2, play it. The system I'm going to go over is called a straight 60 system. Remember that, straight 60. This is how you play. Walk up to a machine with an amount of money, $10. You're going to win 60% or lose 60%, but you keep replaying it over and over and over and over again until you hit a determination. So in this case here, suppose I put in 3 coins. I'm putting in 3 coins. Let's assume I'm playing total amount. I put in 3 coins, no return. Suppose I put in 3 coins again. I got a return. Now I set my naked pulls as 9. I'm still playing the straight 60 system, I'm going to keep playing till all the coins are returned, until I have in here only $4. Because if I have $4 left, $4, I've got to leave that machine because I've lost 60%. Didn't get a return. I'm putting in the maximum coins in this machine because this is where it calls for. I've gone 3 in a row. Let's suppose I keep going and lose. When I lose 60% of the amount I brought to that machine, I've got to leave it. If I win 60%, go back again to what I just explained to you about breaking down the win goal and keeping going with a guarantee. The straight 60 system, or straight 70, or straight 40, or straight 50 is based on a percentage of the amount of money you take to that machine. You notice how everything is geared towards a disciplined approach to the games. This is a dollar machine. You can do this with dollar machines if you've got the bankroll, or quarter machines. So if you take $10 in quarters to a machine and play the maximum coins, you can stay a long time with this system. However, if you're at a machine where you didn't hit the 60% loss limit, the machine is chopping all over the place, you didn't hit your naked pulls, but you lost 45%, you don't have to stay at this machine. Even though you didn't lose 60%, leave before you lose the total amount. I'm big into holding losses down. This system is based on a percentage that you set. I call it straight 60. You can do any percentage you want. Stay between the range of 70 and 40%. Okay? It's all discipline now. We'll go on another system now. This system is called up and down the steps. Now, we're zeroed in on one machine here, but you'll see the theory. This is a 3-coin machine where you can play 3 lines, but I'm just going to show you the theory behind it. The system is called up and down the steps. So watch this. Watch the theory. You're still on your naked pulls, and you still got your loss limit. You start with 1 coin. You lose. You stay with 1 coin. You lose. 1 coin. Lose. 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 I got 1 coin back. I don't count that. Return. I had 3 blanks. I get 1 back. I've lost 7 in a row. 8 in a row. I won. As soon as you win, you go up the steps. You bet 2. You don't go up until after you win. Back down to 1 because I lost. I want you to see the theory. Maybe you picked it up already. I bet 1 because I'm losing. Don't forget, I'm protected by my naked pulls and I'm protected by loss limits. I'm at a machine that's cold. But you know what's happening? The amount of my losses has been controlled because I'm only betting 1 coin at a cold machine. When I win, I increase to 2 coins. If I win, I go to 3 coins. If I win again and I'm at a 4-coin machine, if I'm at a 3-coin machine, I stay at 3. If I'm at a 5-coin machine, I go up to 4. If I win, I go to 5. I keep going up the steps. Anytime I lose, I go back down to 4. So suppose I start with 1 and I lose. I stay at 1. Lose, stay at 1. Lose, stay at 1. Win, go to 2. Win, go to 3. Lose, go to 2. Win, go to 3. Lose, go to 2. Win, go to 3. Win, go to 4. You see what's happening? As I am winning, I'm increasing my bets. As I am losing, I am decreasing my bets. And when I get back down to 1 coin, I stay at 1 coin until I win, which will shoot me up to 2, or my naked pulls come, or my loss limits come. You've got controls all over the place. It's called up and down the steps. You're fluctuating your bets based on whether you're winning or losing. Okay? Take a look. You know what this system is called? It's called high-low. Now you have to use your imagination to simulate that we are at a 5-coin machine. This system is called high-low. You bet 1 coin. You always start off with 1 coin because you want to key into the machine. You bet 1 coin. Lose, stay at 1. Lose, stay at 1. That does not count as a win. A return on 3 blanks. I would like to win at one of these pulls. Since we don't set the machines ahead of time to make sure that we win, the theory is based on the fact that when you win, you jump to the highest amount on that machine. So if you're playing at a 5-coin machine, you keep betting 1 until your naked pulls comes or your loss limits, which I keep saying over and over again. When you win, you jump to maximum coins. that means at any time you have a win here, you jump up to 5 coins. If you win, you stay at 5 coins. You win, you stay at 5 coins. If you lose, you come back down. I would come down 1 at a time. So when I win, I jump right to the maximum because I want to take advantage of it. If I lose, I go to 4. I lose, I go to 3. I win, I go back to 5 again. I lose, I go to 4. Lose, go to 3. Lose, go to 2. Win, go back to 5. You see what's happening? I don't go up in degrees like the up and down the steps. I go right to the top when I win. It's a little bit more aggressive, but you jump right to the top. This type of system called high-low is best used on a 5-coin machine, and it's best used not on the 3-prong. Because the 3-prong, I would rather play right here, where they give you the bonus of $10,000, for instance, on this machine. I want to take advantage of it, so I would use the 3 coins here. But since this particular system is geared to betting high when you're winning and low when you're losing, you're not taking advantage of the other 2 lines. So play this system on a 1-line 5-coin machine. If you've got a small bankroll, $5 at a machine, there's nothing embarrassing about going up with quarters and playing at a 1-3 machine. 1-3, lose, go to 2, win, go to 3, lose, go to 2. The idea being that you're heading down towards the bottom when you're losing. It's called a high-low system. Bet low when you're losing, bet high when you're winning. Okay? You know, I've been gambling since New York was a prairie. In the beginning, I lost a lot. I lost a lot because I was a dope. I didn't know how to quit. When I won, I didn't know when to quit when I lost. Sometimes I'd be down to my last 50 cents. That was enough to buy me supper. 2 jelly donuts and a cup of coffee. This is back in 1960s. When you can get 2 donuts and a cup of coffee for 50 cents, you know what I'd do with that money? I'd put it into a machine. Then I'd go in and buy a lunch, and when I got to the table, to the payout counter, I couldn't find my money. They make me wash dishes. I did a lot of dishwashing. I always made believe that I had no money, but at least I got a meal out of it. Then I had to work it off. So a lot of you people play with short or Swiss cheese bankrolls, a lot of holes in it. Don't be embarrassed. Suppose you got a small bankroll. The system I'm going to talk about now is called play and run. Play and run. Title explains what it's about. You're going to set an amount of money based on your bankroll. Suppose you get $5 per machine. You get $50. You're playing with a little bit of a short bankroll. You're going to go up to a machine with $5. You're going to play until the entire $5 is deposited in the machine. Whatever you win or lose at the end of those, by the play, you're playing with quarters. At the end of that run, when you put the whole $5 in, you're going to quit. So you've played, and then you're going to run. Now watch this. Suppose this was the $5. We know it isn't the $5, and they're dollar machines, but you don't know the difference. I'm putting in 1 quarter. In this system, you do not increase your bets after a win. You stay at the denominations you started with. If you have a higher bankroll, you could start with 2 coins, and then you stay with 2 coins. If you have a lot higher bankroll, start with 3 coins. The amount of the coins you start with on the first pull is the amount you'll stay with. You do not go down after a loss. You do not go up after a win. It's called play and run, and you stay at the same denomination, and at the end of the run, you leave, except one tiny, tiny thing. If at the end of the whole $5, you leave that machine, if the last pull was a winning one, you can go back in and continue to play until the last pull is a losing one. I explained it already. You never leave a machine. Now I put in 1 coin. I started with 1. So I'm going to just play 1 coin at a time. But I'm going to put the entire amount in. I want a couple of coins in with the cherry. See what I'm doing? I am not increasing my bets whether I win or lose. It has no bearing on it, not with this particular system. I had a $40 payoff. It will not change what's going to happen to me when the end of that particular $5 or $10 comes. I've got 4 more coins to put in. I did not increase my bet because I predetermined 1 coin. It's a very conservative system. I won again. I did not increase my bet. I'm down to my last coin. I lost. Session's over. Now I know that I won at that session. At that particular session, I won. The last pull was a loss. I'm going to leave that machine. They're going to say, why would you leave a machine where you won at? Because you predetermined to play this system called play and run. You could go to 40 machines during the course of a day. And as soon as the money that you allocate to put in is gone, you're going to leave. Now, you'd have to go off every once in a while and count the amount of money you have on hand. If you have won 60%, you go into your guarantee in excess, which I've already explained. If you lose 60% of the amount you took to the casino that day, you've got to quit that day, even though the wins and losses were spread over different machines. This is a system geared for people that have short bankrolls. It's a very powerful system because it cuts your losses down. But as soon as you reach the end of the amount that you allocate for that machine, you must leave that machine. Okay? Now we come to the pattern. I want you to write a pattern on a piece of paper. It could be any pattern you want. Let's suppose we took the pattern 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. That's how you're going to play. And it never changes. You've still got your loss limits and you got your naked pulls, but you never deviate from the pattern. Let's suppose you said 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. That's a pattern. Suppose you said 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. You got to stay with that pattern. The bad part about this system is that you might get up to the higher amount of bets and be betting a higher amount and losing. You might be starting off with a pattern that is 1, 1, 1, 1, and you are winning. And then when you get up to 2, 2, 2, you're losing. But it's a geared to set a pattern where I'm controlling your play. Let's suppose, you can set any pattern you want. Let's suppose you set a pattern of 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. And when that pattern is done, if I've hit my naked pulls, I'm gone. Now you're going to stay at this machine until you hit your loss limits or your naked pulls, but you stay in the same pattern. So suppose you get to 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. You start all over again, win or lose on that 3, 3, 3. You start all over. So our first one is 1. You insert 1 chip, or 1 coin, I beg your pardon. Now you insert 1 again. 1 again. That was our pattern that we set out. Whatever pattern you set out, you notice how it's all controlled. Even though we lost the first 3 pulls at 1 coin each, the pattern called for us to go to 2 coins. Now you bet 3 times at 2. 2, 2, and 2. We won. We're going to go up now to 3. We won 10 coins. We're going to go to 3. But win or lose, we would have went up. Luckily, we were at the 2 coin insertion when we finally got a win. Now I'm going to go to 3 because our pattern called for us to go to 3. Lost, 3, 3, 3. And one more at 3, 3, 3. Now, our pattern is over. The pattern that we set, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3 is over. We go back again to 1. 1, 1, and 1. And we keep going through the pattern that we previously set up. We would now go to 2. So the pattern you set up could be anything. You could have 5 1s, 4 2s, 3 3s. And then go back, and then if you're at a 5 coin machine, the pattern is set up ahead of time. 5 1, 5 2, 5 3, 5 4, 5 5. It's called the pattern method. You're still protected by your loss limits, but everything you do at a machine has got to be predetermined. You've got to have a system that's got to be predetermined ahead of time. After a while, you're going to become so proficient in this that you can add 2 of these systems together. But all I care about is that you predetermine the system you're going to use. This one is called the pattern. Try a couple of patterns, but try them, conservative in the beginning. See what you think of it. Got to put your thinking caps on. As we get deeper, and I keep saying this, I want to get deeper with you, but I want to bring you along in stages. I don't want to lose half of you with not understanding the theory. Because slot machines require theory just like any table game. This is called the 3-star system. Remember your naked pulls? That's a continuous amount of pulls in a row whereby no return comes, so you leave that machine. You still got your loss limit. I keep saying that. That's your whole key. It's called your naked number. Let's suppose we're at a 5-coin machine. You do not start at 1 coin because the machine might be hot. You do not start at 5 coins because the machine might be cold. So you start in the middle. If you go to a 3-coin machine, you start with 2. You go to a 5-coin machine, you start with 3. You're going to insert 3 coins, and I want you to remember the number 4. That means you're putting in 3 coins 4 times in a row. When you lose, you drop down to the next lowest level. See the idea being that you're dropping down as you lose. Whenever you win, jump to the highest amount. I'm going to explain it to you. Walked up to this machine. Let's assume it's a 5-coin machine. You're going to put in 3 coins. If you win, you jump right to 5 coins. If you win, you stay at 5 coins. If you win, you stay at 5 coins. If you win, you stay at 5 coins. But as soon as you lose, drop back down to the level you were at before you went up to 5 coins, which in this case is 3. Now suppose you play 3 coins and lose. 3 coins and lose. 3 coins and lose. And 3 coins and lose. That means 4 times in a row, you inserted 3 coins and you lost all 3 times. That means your naked number was hit, which is 4. You now drop down to 2 coins. See what's happening? You're going down because the machine is getting cold. You bet 2 coins 4 times in a row, and then you would drop down to 1 coin. But at any time that you win at 2 coins, you jump up to 5. If you lose, you drop back down to the 2 level, and you do 4 more pulls at 2 coins. You see this in here? The idea being that you're betting smaller as you lose. So now we worked up to a 5-coin machine. I know this is not a 5-coin machine. You put in 3 coins. We're putting in 3, which is a middle bet. We lost. That's 1 loss. We put in 3 coins. We lost. Put in 3 coins. We lost. This is the 4th 3-coin bet. If we win, we're going to go to 5. If we lose, we're going to drop down to the next lowest level. We lost. We are now going to get down to 2 coins. Don't forget, we haven't hit our naked pulls yet. We haven't hit our loss limit. We haven't hit our loss limits. That's 1 pull at 2. This is our 2nd one. This is our 3rd one. And this is our 4th one. Obviously, this machine is cold. It was hot before. It has now gone cold. And now we drop down to 1 coin. This is the whole key to gambling when you're playing the slot machines. Betting smaller as you lose. Now we're down to 1 coin. And don't forget, we've lost 8 in a row. If I lose this pull here, I've got to leave this machine, even though we didn't finish our pattern. We won. We won 5 coins. And now we jump to the maximum amount of coins, which is 5. In this case here, I can only put in 3. But we jump to the maximum. And if we win, we stay at max. Because if the machine is going to get hot, we want to take advantage of it. We lost. We dropped all the way back down to a single coin, which is 1. Our naked pull starts all over again, and we're betting the smallest amount. As long as you keep losing, we won on this one, sorry. We won 10 coins. You know what you bet now? Maximum. Go all the way up to the maximum coins. In this case here, on this machine here, it would be 3 coins. I lost. Go back down to the 1 level. See the idea being, in gambling, any strong gambler will tell you, any professional gambler, that the smart player bets small when he's losing, and he bets high when he's winning. Slot machines is no different. I never told you not to play the slots. I told you how to play the slots. Betting higher on hot machines and lower on low machines. Your naked pulls, your loss limit protects you. In this case here, your naked number drops you down to the next lowest betting amount when the machine is running cold. Now we've got a pretty cold machine here, but you know we bailed it out there by picking up 15 coins on the amount that I pulled in. So we cut our losses down by taking advantage of the fact that we were betting smaller when we were losing. It's a great way to approach slot machines. Let me emphasize something to you. We're going to do another system called down the steps. But every system has what is called spin-offs. I want you to take the time, if you went to all the trouble of buying this tape, you're trying to find out how do you play slot machines. You've got to take what is called theory. Understand that word theory. You could take these systems and add your own theory to it. Now the system I'm going to give you now starts with maximum coins, and then you're going to go down the steps. The idea being that you're betting 3 coins or 5 coins, the maximum amount of the machine. As you lose, you go down the steps. As you win, you stay at the 3 coins. It is for a little bit higher session amount, whether it's dollars or quarters. So we're going to put in 3 coins. You're starting at the top now. If you're at a 5-coin machine, you put in 5 coins. Now, we won. We had the 3 bars. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay at the top of the steps because we won. We won 15 coins, and we stay at the maximum, which in this case here is 3, but it could be at a 5-coin machine. Then you start down the steps. Now, we won again. We won another 6 coins. We bet 3 again. We caught a hot machine, which is kicking off returns. Now we lost. Now you go down to the next level. On a 3-coin machine, you get down to 2 coins. If you had a 5-coin machine, you get down to 4. You're going down the steps. The idea being 1 step at a time. Now we were down to 2. We lost. At a 3-coin machine, you'll only be betting 1. At a 5-coin machine, you'll be betting 3. Do you notice what you're doing? You're going down the steps. Now, once you reach the bottom of the steps and you're losing, you stay there. And you only start back up the steps when you win. You don't jump to maximum coins. If I had won there, I wouldn't jump to the maximum coins. I'd go up the steps 1 at a time. So I'm staying at 1. Do it just 1 more time. I lost. I stay at 1. If I win, I go up 1 at a time. 1 step at a time till I reach the maximum. I stay there. But suppose I lost. I stay at 1. I win, I go to 2. I win, I go to 3. I lose, I go back down 1 step to 2. Win, go to 3. Lose, go to 2. Win, go to 3. Lose, go to 2. You don't jump like the high-low system where you go from coins up to the maximum. This one here, you only go up 1 step at a time, but you start at the top of the steps. And it's called down the steps. Start at the top, work your way down, 1 step at a time. Okay? I want to wrap up the whole tape. I want to put everything into one little nutshell and see if you can grasp what I'm trying to do for you people. I've done 22 tapes on gambling, all types. And I want you to treat slot machines just as you would any other game. It's a form of gambling. The slot player is not frowned upon by the casinos. They're valuable commodity. You people that play the slot machine is not looked down upon the other players, nor the casino personnel. They also have what is called a slot club here at the castle. You could sign up for the slot club at the Gold Card Center. Just go over and say, I want to join the slot club. The slot club for slot players is a tremendous, fantastic thing. Why do they have slot clubs? They want your name. They want your name and address. But they will send you things in the mail. They will put you into this club. Doesn't cost you anything. They will send you things and they will reward you for your play. Casinos is the greatest thing that ever happened to this country. Many years ago, before you people even know gambling existed, I've been gambling since St. Peter was an altar boy. And people used to think I was no good because I was a gambler. Now, you walk down the street now and everybody thinks it's so exciting. I drive 6 hours in the car every day, 3 hours down, 3 hours back to come to work. Beautiful life, and now you people are realizing it. So when you get a chance to join the club at the Castle Gold Card Center, you would join this slot club and take advantage of the gifts that they're going to give you. And they do take care of you people that's in the club. In fact, you should join the slot club in any casino that you play. I happen to be at the castle. I know how good the club is. If you're into a casino out in Las Vegas, or Lofton, or Reno, Vegas, join the slot club. Always join it. You don't want to wrap up these systems. I told you already, you can always go back over the tape about bankroll, knowledge, money management, and discipline. I just want to take a couple of chapters from the book that I wrote on slots. I think you should get that. I know you should get the book. But I just want to take a couple of chapters that have to do with discipline, and the chapters are included in a question. What's discipline? Discipline is guts, the ability to win, or to leave a table when you've won a certain amount or lost a certain amount. Discipline at slots. Slots should have discipline just like any other table game. Reality of discipline. The reality of discipline is just like the reality of gambling. It's a war. Can you win? Of course you can win. But the reality of gambling is you've got a 50-50 chance. You've got to accept small returns. If you won't accept those small returns, you're never going to win in the casino. The last coin always amazes me. Some guy that doesn't have enough money to buy a can of peas goes to a casino with $20, his last $20, and bets down to the last coin. Do you really think that that last coin is going to recover all your money? Maybe your brother's sister's nephew who has a mailman who's married to a hairdresser, who has a guy that lives in Montreal that knows somebody that's a butcher who bet his last coin and won the jackpot. And you chase that dream forever. Don't bet down to the last coin. Stupid way of playing. Using naked pulls, loss limits. Attitude. I hate it when a person comes up to me and said, well, I go down with an amount of money I can afford to lose. Just think of yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask that question. You can afford to lose money. You can afford to lose money. It's because you usually lose at gambling. You try to con yourself into saying, well, I had a good time. You had a good time losing money? Small percentage return. Tiny, small percentage returns interest me. I say the rosary on the way home from the casino if I could win 10% of what I took with me. Oh, you don't want to win small percent. You think 10%, oh, you want to win thousands. Dreamer. Discipline when winning. It takes just as much guts to quit when you're winning as it does when you're losing. Most people quit when they're losing because they got no more money. I want you to have a loss limit. Anybody can quit when they run out of money. I want you to quit before you run out of money. Psychologically, you'll go home, not with the amount that you took with you, but with the amount that you can start the next trip down to the casinos. Discipline on winning days. The ability to quit when you've won a certain amount. This one gets me. I only go once a month, as though that's supposed to qualify you to betting like a dork. You go once a month, use the exact same procedures of discipline that the person who goes every day does. I happen to be at the casino every day. That doesn't give me the right to bet crazy. And for you people that only come down once a week or once a month, you should follow exactly the way we play, as though you were down there every day. I hope you learned something from this tape. I hope you come to some of these seminars, and I hope you go back over the systems and try them and use your own approach to gambling. Like I said before, you can see a commercial at the end of the tape. Watch it. I've got 22 tapes on gambling. I've written 8 books on gambling. They're all good. They're good because they tell you exactly what gambling's about. Maybe you'll pay attention, maybe you won't. But someday, maybe 30, 40, 50, 60 years from me, you'll crawl over to me and say, geez, I wish I listened to you. Someday you will. I hope you win. Hope you learn how to win. When you become a perfect player, when you learn how to win, put a whole new outlook on the way you play. Stop into the castle. Come up and see me. Seminars are free, and I'll help you out. Happy winnings. Okay?
John Patrick is a professional gambler. His full-length, in-depth videos have helped thousands of casino players win at craps, blackjack, roulette, baccarat, poker, even slots. Shot in Atlantic City, these easy-to-follow tapes cover everything from the basic fundamentals and strategy for the novice to sophisticated money management and hedging techniques for the advanced player. John Patrick will dramatically change your approach to casino gambling. You'll learn how to use expert knowledge, discipline, and money management skills to reduce the house edge and become a more consistent winner. Each tape is $39.95, 3 for $99. To order, call toll-free 1-800-282-6666. Visa, MasterCard, American Express accepted. Operators are standing by. Call now 1-800-282-6666.